Chapter 1, Shopping at Krehl. Of course, the thing I wanted to buy was clothes. The clothes I bought the day we came to Krehl were much more comfortable than I expected. After all, I hadn't minded too much until now, but now that I'd bought some clothes here, I painfully felt the difference between that and the clothing I'd been wearing. These clothes were stiff and chafed my skin, but the clothes sold here were all soft and comfortable, like they were made out of cotton. After wearing the stuff sold here, I won't say I'll never go back, but I certainly don't feel like wearing my old clothes anymore. I gave up trying to bring Fel and the others with me since the stores in this town were both comparatively small, and the clothing stores always stuffed their space full with their wares. I had them wait in the kennel, along with Sui. At first, Dora-chan, who'd just become my familiar a day ago, complained, "You just said yesterday that you'd feed me something good, didn't you?" I replied with, "That's for tonight," and told them that I would leave food to tide them over until I was back. As soon as that detail was revealed, he immediately changed his tune. I left some meat I cooked yesterday, some sandwiches of various kinds, including cutlet sandwiches, some red bean, jam, and cream buns, and some drinks, cola, cider, and orange juice, heaped up or poured into dishes for them. Dora-chan must have quite the sweet tooth, as he immediately bit into a red bean bun, crying out, "Delicious!" Once I was satisfied that I'd left the three of them with lots of food, I went shopping. I looked around the street, trying to decide which store I should go to. Fel wouldn't shut up about the dungeon, so I'd probably be forced to leave for the dungeon city of Dolan as soon as I received the money for the request and the sale of the venom tarantulas. So, today's the only day I would be able to shop. I didn't have enough time, so for the moment, I was going to buy anything I saw that looked good. I didn't know when I'd be able to come next, so I wanted to buy around 20 sets of clothes to change into, with spares included, while I had leeway in my funds. Ah, this looks nice. Walking through the street, I noticed a certain shirt and pants set. I walked inside. Even though I said I was drawn to it, all men's clothes were basically the same. The set I liked was, in the end, of the same type as the sets I bought yesterday. The shirt was white, while the pants were dark gray. As soon as I entered, I was approached by an employee. "Did that catch your eye? It's our most popular product." The shirt was a simple one with a stand-up collar, and the pants looked like chinos. If somebody were to call this set standard, no one would object. "Yes, please give me that shirt and those pants. Also, I'd like to buy several sets." I had the employee show me their shirts and pants. The shirts were mainly divided into shades of white, ivory, and beige. According to the employee, the shirts weren't dyed. Instead, the threads themselves had color. Apparently, that was because white shirts generally went with anything, and also dyeing would drive up the prices. It's true that it's easy to pair up white with almost any color. Thinking about it, all my t-shirts were white too. It's the safest color, after all. Unlike the shirts, the pants section had a lot of strong colors. Olive, deep brown, dark gray, deep blue, and plain colors like black were the main features here. There was a reason for that too, as darker colors didn't show stains as easily. I see. In this world where the roads aren't even paved, you'll pick up dirt and stains just by walking. The stains would stand out a lot on lighter colored pants. When I thought about it, I agreed with those reasons. And although they were plain, I didn't hate the colors anyway. Actually, I've worn plain colors since before I arrived in this world. I didn't really care about what I wore. When I thought about it like that, I realized that these clothes were basically unchanged from what I wore in my previous world. I bought 2 each of the white and beige shirts, and also a single pair each of olive, deep brown, deep blue, and black pants. Along with the set that was on display, the 5 sets cost me 17 gold and 5 silver. After that, I went around to 2 more stores that caught my eye and bought 10 more sets each from them. They were all just about the same in the end, though. I ended up with more sets than I'd planned at 25. But thinking about the future, having this many shouldn't be a problem. Now then, I'll have to make something delicious for Dora-chan, just as I've promised. When I got back, not only was all the copious amount of food I'd left completely gone, the dishes I'd left them on were even licked clean. Not to mention, They were currently sleeping soundly in the kennel. Dora-chan was even sleeping facing the sky, with his belly exposed and everything. I guess I'll cook while everyone's sleeping. I've already promised Dora-chan to feed him something good. After thinking for a while about what to make, I landed on something. I already had the thin-cut wyvern meat, so I decided to do the sukiyaki that I'd already planned on doing eventually. Sukiyaki's fancy. There shouldn't be any problems. First, I need to do some shopping, don't I? Since I'd need to buy a pot to use for the sukiyaki anyway, I also bought another 3 portable stoves. It'd be impossible without these, after all. For vegetables, I'll go with green onion, Chinese cabbage, enoki mushrooms. Oh, and also some edible chrysanthemums, why not? And then I'll need some shirataki noodles, grilled tofu, and eggs, right? Oh, and also sukiyaki tear. I'll get some ready-made sukiyaki tear. Yeah, it's easier than making it, and it's still just as good. First are the preparations. Slice the onions diagonally into about 1 centimeter's width pieces, and cut the Chinese cabbage into sections so that they're of manageable size. Cut the edible chrysanthemums so they're around 5 centimeters in length, and cut the base off of the enoki mushrooms and unravel them. Cut the grilled tofu into cubes, and once the shirataki noodles have been boiled in preparation, cut them to an easy-to-eat length. Once all that preparation is done, it's finally time for the real deal. Heat up the sukiyaki pot, and after melting some wyvern fat on it, start with the onions. Once the onions have changed color, add in the wyvern meat. Cook the wyvern meat quickly, and as soon as it has changed color, add in the tear and go to low heat. Then add in the shirataki noodles, grilled tofu, enoki mushrooms, Chinese cabbage, and edible chrysanthemums. Once they've been heated through, the sukiyaki is ready to eat. An egg and a plate. Wait, Fel and Sui both eat a lot, so they'll want 2, won't they? Even Dora-chan eats almost double what I eat, and at that size. Then I'll just give Dora-chan 2 eggs too. I cracked 2 eggs for each of them, and after a light scramble, I added in a large amount of the wyvern meat and some vegetables and mixed them together. I was going to go wake the 3 of them up, but they were all already waiting behind me, drooling. Here you go? I put the dishes in front of them. The 3 of them must have stretched their patience to the limit as they began eating immediately. Man, this meat is good. Indeed, this sauce pairs well with the meat. Also, is this egg? Mixing that in takes this to a whole new level. Yeah, the just a little bit sweet and salty flavor with the meat and eggs together is really, really good. I know, right? Mixing in a raw egg to sukiyaki is just the best. Wait! Ah! Aren't wyverns a type of dragon? I totally forgot since they look more like pteranodons here. Is Dora-chan okay with eating wyverns? Dora-chan, that meat is, wyvern meat. Are you okay eating that? Aren't wyverns a type of dragon? Isn't this cannibalism? When I fearfully brought up the subject, Dora-chan snorted out of his nose. There's no dragon that thinks of wyverns as dragons. All dragons are as intelligent as I am, you know? You can't call idiots like wyverns a type of dragon like that. Not to mention, as long as it isn't the same as me, that is, specifically a pixie dragon, I wouldn't call it cannibalism either. This world is one of survival of the fittest, so I'll eat anything that isn't a pixie dragon. Having said that, Dora-chan returned to chomping down his sukiyaki. Anything as long as it isn't a pixie dragon, huh? Dora-chan is a little wild, unlike what his appearance suggests. It is exactly as Dora says, the strong use the weak as food. That is the way of the world. Fel agreed with Dora-chan's statement, nodding. Well, what he's saying is true, and it's thanks to Fel ruling over the summit of strength in this world that we can eat delicious meat like this too. Now, stop thinking of hard stuff like that and eat. It's good, you know? Hey, Dora-chan, I'm the one that made that, so, well, whatever. I guess I'll eat too. More. Or not. Here comes Fel and Sui's demand for more. I'm already full. Ha, that was good. It really was the right move to become your familiar. You said it. Everything Master makes is delicious. Sui is happy that everything Sui eats every day is so good. I was a little dissatisfied with Fel and Dora-chan's statements since they only cared about my food, but I was immediately fulfilled by Sui saying that he was happy. Wow, Sui's so cute. For Sui's sake, I diligently made more. For Fel, too, I guess. In between servings, I also ate my own share of sukiyaki. It goes well with white rice. I started wanting some sake while I was eating, so I ended up buying some. I picked away at the sukiyaki while sipping my sake. By the way, the edible chrysanthemums were unpopular with all three of them, so I ended up eating it all myself. Apparently, they didn't appreciate the bitterness. Whew, that was good. Sui is so full. Finally, it seemed like Fel and Sui were satisfied. That's right, Fel. We're leaving for Dolan as soon as I get the money for the venom tarantulas tomorrow, right? Indeed. I want to hurry to the dungeon. Thought so. What? We're going to a dungeon? Dora-chan reacted to the mention of a dungeon. Indeed. After this, we are headed to the dungeon city, Dolan. There, we plan to enter the dungeon. It will be the first time I will have entered a dungeon in a human town as well, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that sounds fun. It'll be the first dungeon in a human town for me too. Sui is also looking forward to the dungeon. I wonder why all my kids like dungeons so much. I don't like them at all. Well then, I guess I should get up early tomorrow to go to the guild so we can head for Dolan. Indeed, that would be wise. I had Dora-chan stay in the kennel again today, and I headed for my room with Sui. Once I'd gone to the guild and finished my business, we would finally be setting off for Dolan. All three of my familiars were looking forward to the dungeon, so it was kind of worrying that our stay in Dolan looked like it would go long. Waking up early, we departed for the Adventurers Guild. Our goal, to receive our reward for the venom tarantulas. When I showed the receptionist my guild card, I was told I will call the guildmaster, so please wait a moment before she left her station. After a little while, Rodolfo arrived. Yo, you're early. Okay then, let's go to the storehouse. I followed Rodolfo to our destination. The young man in charge of butchering from before was waiting there. Sup? It's all finished. The workstation in front of the young man was piled high with venom tarantula legs. Ugh, that's a little disgusting. Okay then, here's your venom tarantula legs. I stuffed them into my item box. Now then, I'll be the one breaking down your earnings. I put in some effort with the Bruno Trading Company, so this time's reward will be 320 gold. After that, the 8 sets of venom tarantula poison sacks and string sacks come out to 440 gold, and the giant centipede shell and magic stone will be 230 gold. All in all, you'll be getting 990 gold. Hup, here you go. Take it. Rodolfo placed sacks full of gold in front of me, each one settling down with a heavy thud. I'm not surprised anymore, huh? So then, what are you going to do now? I'm planning to head for Dolan immediately. I see, that's too bad. Rodolfo looked really regretful. Personally, I would have been fine with staying for a while, but everyone else wanted to go to the dungeon, so there was no helping it. As for me, the dungeon city was the one that I wanted to hurry up and put behind me. Fel and the others are really looking forward to it, apparently. They're saying they want to hurry up and go. The Fenrir, Pixie Dragon, and ridiculously strong slime. Huh? With them, you can think about being the first ones to conquer it, can't you? No. There's no way. Right. There's something I need to say to you. Do you remember how I told you about one of my old friends before? Yeah, the person you said knew a lot about dragons, right? He was one of Rodolfo's old comrades, and apparently he admired dragon slayers, so he did all kinds of research. If I remember right, he researched so much about dragons he eventually made a dragon encyclopedia. That's right. That guy's currently Dolan's guildmaster. Heh, he said they were old friends, so they might have been in the same party. Both he and Rodolfo made it to guildmaster, so it must have been a pretty damn good party. So, why is Rodolfo gumming up? He's usually so lively. Just like I said, he's done a lot of research on dragons, and if he ever hears about a dragon, he'll go pretty far to see it. And Rodolfo's line of sight shifted to Dora-chan. Ah, I see. If a person who's that attached to dragons sees Dora-chan. You're talking about if he sees a pixie dragon? Indeed. When I think about him seeing this pixie dragon, there's no doubt he'll start dancing around wildly. I did contact him in advance. I'll tell you just in case, but he's not a bad guy. Just he loses all boundaries when it comes to dragons. Rodolfo, you must have gone through a lot of trouble. So he's like that, huh? Sounds kind of annoying. He's Dolan's guildmaster, so I can't just deny him flat out. Even if he talks my ear off about dragons, I wouldn't understand anything. I can translate what Dora-chan says, though, I guess. Well, in this case, whatever happens, happens. At least that's what I think. It's not like I can not go to Dolan, after all. I'll just have to go, and then do all I can to stay away from the Adventurers Guild there as much as possible if he's really that annoying. I've given him a long lecture about causing you any trouble already. Sorry, but please do your best. I'm a little worried, but I won't know how it is until I go there. Ah. I also had an Earth Dragon. I was told that they might be able to take it apart at Dolan, and if I remember right, Carolina's guildmaster already told Dolan's guildmaster about it. Will it be okay? I can just see Dolan's guildmaster. I have no idea what he looks like, though. Waiting for me with open arms.